Today we are going to be looking at an African text titled Second Class Citizen by Buchi Emecheta. Buchi Emecheta is a Nigerian from the Igbo tribe, a woman who has written a lot of novels and plays. She's based in the United Kingdom, and she is also the author of The New Tribe and several other autobiographical texts. So we'll be looking at her lives, and we'll be discussing the plot of the novel, and we will also discuss the characterization, the setting, the themes in the novel, and some of the hints on how to answer questions in your exam regarding the second class citizen. Her full name, the author, is Florence Buchi Emecheta. In most of her books, it is written Buchi Emecheta, and she was born in 1944, and she died recently in 2017 in Nigeria. And the novel is a chronicle of her experiences in her marriage, and she's an educated woman. I think also have a doctorate degree in sociology, and one of her popular book is this Second Class Citizen. The Bride Prize is also very popular. The Joys of Motherhood, The New Tribe, and several other autobiographical fiction. So, and one of her publishers is Allison and Busby. So we'll be looking at the plot of the novel now, and I want you to pay good attention. It is also very important that you subscribe and click the notification bell, so that when the other videos on Second Class Citizen are uploaded, you will be notified. It is a series. We just start with plot summary and analysis. We are also going to be discussing the characters, the literary devices used in the novel, and then the themes in the novel, and also we'll be looking at some of the significant events and incidents in the novel also. So at the beginning of the novel, we saw that the heroine, or the major character in the novel, is still a young lady, a young girl who is denied education. Why? Because her father who doesn't even like to sponsor a female child. Rather, a female child is destined to get married, and then part of the bride price will be used to train the male children. So you can see the notion of inequality in the old Igbo tradition in Nigeria at that time. Note that that is not the modern situation in Nigeria currently. The people now are also agitating for equality of sex. So most of the female children now are also going to school with not going for marriage to use the money for to train other children. So we saw that she dreamt as a young girl to live in the United Kingdom. Why? Because one of her tribal man was living in the United Kingdom, and then he studied law. So when he returned to the village, they used to call him Binto. What is Binto? Somebody who has been to the land of the white people. And those people are highly regarded in the old Nigeria country at that time. So whether the person is rich or not, for being a Binto is the person is civilized, and the society recommend and regard such person. If there is any position that need to be given to somebody of good character, they prefer the Binto who are already civilized. So that was the situation. So that dreamt that she is going to one day be a Binto who has been to the United Kingdom. So we saw that in her education, while she was still a child, her father died, and then after her father died, she was sent to go and live with her uncle. And then living with her uncle was a very terrible experience because she has to wake up in the morning, sweep the compound, go to the stream to fetch water, and before talking about going to school. So we saw that the novel traces her personal development from that little period of a young lady having a lot of dreams and fantasies, and then she was able to go to Methodist girls' school. How? Her uncle does not have the money to take her to that school. But what happened was that she sat for a scholarship exam, and luckily for her, she was able to pass, and only two of them were selected. You can see how luck was on her way. And even at school, no, she doesn't have a father again. The mother have married another man, and she does not have a family to run to. The uncle's family, the uncle's house is very, very hostile to her, and then spending time, because the uncle also wishing that she marry, and then he will get the bride price and use it for his own personal use rather than going to school. So that was the situation at that time, and Ada spent a lot of time in the school. Thank God that the school is a school where it's a boarding school that provides at least feeding for her. And after finishing from the school, we saw that Ada got a job with the British embassy, working as a library clerk. And you know, the money she was getting at that time was a very huge amount of money. And her husband to be Francis was not even getting up to 50% of that salary. So when Ada do not have a family, the mother is married to another man, and then the father is dead. The uncle is not even comfortable with Ada living in his house. So we saw that the job was very, very good, that a very young man will also fall in love with Ada because of her good paying jobs. And we saw that he got married to Francis. And after that, Francis failed a lot of law exam in Nigeria, and Ada have to sponsor Francis to the United Kingdom to go and study, I think, study for law and accounting. And it was a terrible time. Ada was the one shouldering paying the bills of Francis' father, Francis' mother, and the two sisters going to school, and also paying for Francis, sending money to Francis. And you know what? Francis was not even so comfortable with Ada, because the day that Francis was going to the United Kingdom, Ada, Francis' mother and Francis' sister were crying at the airport. But Ada did not cry. So Francis interpreted that to be someone who is not going to be missing him. And Ada was so deep in thought, so worried that the husband is going away to far United Kingdom. And that was even what was worrying Ada. But because Ada did not cry, Francis felt Ada did not love him much. So Ada was just like a cashing cow for the family. When she collects her salary, give to the father-in-law, the mother-in-law, pay the school fees of the two sisters, and send the rest of the money to Francis in United Kingdom for her study. So it was difficult for the family to release Ada to go to the United Kingdom. Why? Because she was the one feeding them. And if Ada leaves now, there may not be money coming as it was. But Ada was able to convince the father-in-law that immediately she gets to the United Kingdom, she will be sending them a huge amount of money. And that was one of the reasons why the Francis father will release Ada to go and meet Francis. But when Ada got to the United Kingdom, Ada was disappointed. The situation was worse. Francis was living in a very bad house that is not even ready for this children? Will the children be given out to nursing mothers? Ada was also contemplating that at that time. But Ada see that Francis was not struggling enough to make ends meet. So Ada was able to struggle. Then she got a job again working in a library. And then she was able to take care of herself, take care of her family. And the husband Francis was frolicking with different women, sleeping with women, in spending Ada's money. At the same time, to take the children to school or to their nursing home when Ada is going to work was difficult for Francis. Not that Francis was working, but Francis felt that she conveying these children to their schools seems that she has become a houseboy for Ada. And some of his friends taunted him for doing that. So Ada have to take care of the children, leave the money before going for her work in the library. So it was a taxing situation for her, and it was a very serious issue to the extent that she was no longer comfortable living with Francis. So after giving her 4 children, Francis also was not concerned about taking good care of the children. And the story of struggle continues. Ada continued working in the library, earning money, and then enroll for degree program. And she was able to get grant. And then she started her degree program. And because Francis was not serious, you could see a very resourceful woman trying to struggle, have her way in the United Kingdom. And at that time, there was also a civil war in Nigeria at that time, especially when she was doing her degree program in the United Kingdom. The Biafra war was happening in Nigeria. The Biafra group of the Igbos who wanted to have their own country and independence from Nigeria. So it was a terrible time at home too for Ada. And then, because of her ambition, one day she decided that she will no longer continue with the marriage. So she separated from Francis and then took care of her own children. And because the Francis was so abusive, Francis assaulted her several times. So you could see the situation that Ada was passing through at that time. And we also see that even at that, Francis kept on failing the examinations, the accounting examination, the law examination. So you could see that the dream differs. A passionate woman got stuck with a man who do not have an ambition, who does not have ambition for his tomorrow. So let's look at the setting of the novel. Note that in Nigeria, the novel was criticized among the Igbos. Why? Because a woman shouldn't air her view to the extent of damaging the reputation of the husband. So it was not a comfortable novel at home. But today, in the modern Nigeria, it is everybody is comfortable with it. But when the novel was published, a lot of elderly people frowned at it because why should a woman exposes her husband in such manner and painted her husband as a weakling and somebody who is not responsible and is not also meeting the needs and responsibility as the man of the house. But now I think several people are comfortable with the novel. The reason why is because of the patriarchal nature of the Nigerian society, especially the Igbo tribe, because the woman is also seen as an extended property of the husband. So let's look at the setting of the novel. The novel happened during the Civil War of Nigeria and also during the World War II. Okay, 8 years after the World War. Now it is narrated in Nigeria, and then the plot moves from Nigeria, Lagos in Nigeria, to England, following the developmental process of Ada. So the setting is in Nigeria and the United Kingdom, and then the temporal setting is the Nigerian Civil War and then few years, like 8 years after the World War II. So this is the setting of the novel. And before we move on um, to the analysis of the characters and also discussion on the themes, I would love you to do a little assignment. So when you do this assignment at the comment section, please, you can provide your answer and I'm going to respond to it. So who are those referred to as the second class citizen in the novel? Now, if you listen carefully, you will understand that two people are regarded as second class in the novel. I'm going to give you a hint, then you answer it yourself. While the blacks are regarded as second class in the United Kingdom, and also the female gender are regarded as second class even in Nigeria. Okay, so you develop your essay and then you can post it in the comment section. Now we comment on it, and any question you have regarding the second class citizen, either from WAEC or Cambridge International Examination or any other examination, I am ready to attend to you. So make sure you click the subscription button, subscribe, and also click the notification bell so that you will get notified when I upload the video of the characters and characterization, the themes, the literary devices used in the novel. Thank you very much.